I'm always in a John Wick era. That should be made clear right now. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex and you are here at The Pharmacy Reads, and you are here for episode 2 of the book of the month backlist wish list of death, and we're here for our June picks. Hey friends, before we get into the Book of the Month Backlist Challenge episode number 2, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is the Udie. Let's open up my package. So the Udie provides cruelty-free, comfortable, cozy home body wear for you and for me, okay? Wait till you see what I was so lucky to be able to pick out for them to send me. Like, me being a homebody, I cannot even describe how excited I am. And also, it'll be easier to see when we open it up, but they have nice ribbing on the sleeves, so hopefully you guys know by now I love to cook at home, so this will be perfect for Colorado winter nights when I'm freezing, but I need to be able to roll up my sleeves and have them stay there to be able to cook food and not have it like get all over my nice Udie. So the product that, hold on, stop. Are you kidding me? Like, first of all, let's talk about this really nice packaging. It came really, really quickly and was delivered right to my doorstep. No issues with delivery. It's vacuum sealed, which to me means it's gonna fluff up like a big fluffy cozy blanket. It's really nicely wrapped with the ribbons, and I'm so excited to get into this. I cannot even. Let me get some scissors. Am I still using my crafting scissors? Yes, I am. But it's not gonna damage this beautiful warm. Oh, MG. Y'all don't even know. Like, you can't even imagine what this feels like right now. This is so baller. Okay. It comes with a little note, and it also has a QR code on the back to be able to look up any care details and or leave a review, which is always nice to have a nice direct way to leave all your good thoughts about an amazing product. So the product that I chose is the original Udie, and it's gonna blow your minds. Also to note, it is a one-size-fits-all situation. I'm a thick one. I'm a thick girl. This is definitely gonna fit. So I went with the Space Galaxy print. It's black with neon, like, pastel colors. Hi, hello, are you kidding me? Let's throw it on. Oh my goodness. And like, look at this like Sherpa lining. And you know that I have a code for you. So let me get this on. I have it on backwards. Let me get this on correctly and I'll share it with you. I'll be right back. It's me, I'm back. Hi. Hello. It's me in my Udie. It has pockets. You can do this in it. Hood down, hood up. Doesn't matter. It's so comfy cozy. These are those sleeves that I was talking about. Were rolled up or comfy cozy. You guys, I don't know how I lived without this for winter time. Like, it's not winter, it's summer in Colorado right now. But it's gonna get cold quicker than I think. And this is gonna absolutely slay. So I'm gonna put it on the screen here, and I will also leave a link to this exact Udie that I received, also to their website and the code. So for $35 off a purchase from theudie.com, please enjoy this code. It's the Pharmacy Reads 35. If you head over to their website, again, I will link it down below. Pick out a product, type that code, and you're gonna get $35 off. And I'm telling you, I would absolutely pay full price for this, especially if you are a homebody like me, if you are a little early 30s girl that just likes to be at home. You paid your rent, you paid to be here, you wanna be cozy, get you an Udie, girl. boy, whoever, wherever, you are gonna love it. Thank you so much to the Udie for sending me this amazing product. And again, the PharmD Reads 35 will get you $35 off your first Udie purchase. What day is it? June 9th already? It's already June 9th and I haven't even picked the 5 books that I need to read. So I have, hold on, now I have my screen recording and we're just gonna get into it. So if you watched the first episode, it was the first 5 choices from the spinning wheel of Book of the Month backlist. Death is what I'm calling this little spinner wheel, wheelofnames.com thing that I have going here. The challenge is I have 2 full shelves on my bookshelf of books that I have been hoarding like a dragon from Book of the Month over the past few years, and I need to read them and then either keep them or get rid of them depending on my feelings. So May was my first month. For now, I'm just gonna do 5 books a month. That may change in the future. I was literally showering and I was like, but what if I did a few months at the end and I did 10 books so I could finish by the end of the year? I need to do the math, but just for June, for the sake of moving forward and for completeness and for ease, I'm just gonna pick 5. So I'm nervous. Okay, without further ado, let's spin. I really hope that this is actually recording my screen. Okay. Okay. So this is, and I will pull the books afterwards so we can go through them, but this is not the actual title and I can't even remember, but I actually almost unhauled this before I thought to do this challenge, but this is good. Okay, so we're gonna remove it from the options and we're gonna spin again. I'm not super pumped about that first one. I don't even know why I picked it, but okay, the X-Hex. All right. More of like a, so I think this is Erin Sterling, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I can see it from here. And this is a witchy book, rom-com, I believe, where our main character, I think, casts a spell on her ex or something like that. A lot of people really like this, and I know it has like a book 2 and maybe 3 coming out, like a book 2 already out and then a book 3 coming out. So that's 2 romances. So we're gonna remove that. Whew. Okay, let's spin again. With the barking. Oh my god. Why do you keep ending up in the same place? 3 romances? The Proposal. Okay, so this is Jasmine Guillory, who I have read a couple of her other books in this little like romance series that she has. This one, all I know is on the front the characters are at a baseball game, so who knows? 3 romances. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. These are good summer reads, right? Because rom-coms, beach reads, literal beach read, Emily Henry, like that type of a vibe. That's great. So that's cool. So we're gonna take that off. Number 4. Okay. Girl A. I couldn't tell you anything about this. I couldn't tell you the author. I couldn't tell you what it's about. I have a feeling it's some sort of like a maybe domestic thriller or a slow burn thriller of some sort. I know it's not a romance, so that's something. Okay, whew, last choice. I can't believe how like exciting this own self-inflicted challenge is. A Flicker in the Dark. Stacey Willingham? Is that who has the... Yeah, Stacey Willingham. Okay, that I know for sure is a thriller / mystery. So, okay, it looks like we've got 3 romances and 2 thrillers, which is actually, last month was 1 romance, 2 thrillers. The Cartographers was kind of like a little thriller-ish magical realism, and then Slice of Life. Okay, so I know that I have a lot of romances and thrillers on this backlist, so that makes sense. So, okay, those are our 5 options. Let me zoom out. We are zoomed out. And let me go collect them. BRB. Whew. All right. here are the choices. So Girl A is by Abigail Dean. You can flee your parents, you can bury your secrets, but you'll never leave behind what your siblings know what you all shared. A gripping psychological family story about the shifting alliances and betrayals of sibling relationship, about the secrets our siblings keep from themselves and each other. Okay, yeah, so definitely some sort of a slow burn thriller, I would imagine, is what it's giving. So that's option one. A Flicker in the Dark is indeed by Stacey Willingham. This looks like it is following a girl from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 20 years after some sort of, oh, okay, her own father had, okay. So 6 girls go missing in her town in Louisiana, and her father confesses to the crime now 20 years later. She's a psychologist getting ready for her wedding when a local teenage girl goes missing, and then another that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Okay. Very much summer thriller vibes. This is, I know, very well loved, I think, on both Goodreads and just like the BookTube, Bookstagram community. So I'm actually pretty excited to read this. So I might start off with this one, depending. Okay. How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. That's what this one is called. And I hid myself a book of the month bookmark. Life is hard covers, but life is legit mad hard. Okay. Okay. Something about a girl thinking that she's going to marry Keanu Reeves before he actually gets married, and perhaps a romance is involved, but I do see some road trip vibes. So this actually looks like it might be fun for summer. I mean, I'm giving myself the freedom to DNF these, right? That's part of this. That's life, and, you know, the way the cookie crumbles. Like, again, some of these are pretty old. This is 2021. I knew I was going to have one even older. I have been carrying this book around for 4 years. Do you know how many houses I've lived in 4 years? That's insane. Okay, this sound, all right, Nicole Patterson goes to a Dodgers game with her actor boyfriend. He proposes. She says no. A guy comes to her rescue, and then maybe perhaps some like fake dating romance involved. Who could be too sure? But I know Jasmine Guillory, the other book, I think I read The Wedding Date by her, and I really enjoyed it. So this one, too upset about. And these all are relatively looking to be around the 300 to 350 page mark if I had to guesstimate. So that's doable. I have, how many days are in this month? I didn't have a normal childhood, so I don't know how to do that hand thing with the knuckle. Today is the 9th, 30th. Okay, so I have exactly 3 weeks to read all 5 of these, which is more than doable as long as I get my butt in gear. So yes, the last one is The XX by Erin Sterling, and yeah, she curses her boyfriend. That's about all I know. I feel like I would have much rather have read this around the fall time, but I literally said to my husband like today or yesterday, I can't wait for fall, and it just became summer in Denver. Like, I'm already ready for fall vibes. So I'll have a summer ween. I don't give a shit. I'll put a scary. I was actually literally just gonna go. I am buddy reading Assassin's Apprentice with by Robin Hobb, which is book 1 of the Farseer trilogy, with my bestie Allie, and it kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, like kind of that pastoral slow burn fantasy. And although it doesn't particularly match a scary movie or a horror movie, I'm just in the mood to like watch something spooky on my laptop and read some fantasy. So I could very much do that with this as well. Maybe something more campy like Scream. I feel like I have been wanting to rewatch. Scream is one of my favorite. What's your favorite scary movie ever? So that's it. These are the books. Future me. Great. Okay. These are the books. Again, I have exactly 3 weeks during which I have to read these. And then at the end of this vlog, I will update with my final thoughts and if I want to keep these on my shelf or if I want to donate or ever get a Pango and sell some books on Pango. So that's that. I may or may not start one of these tonight. We'll see. I'm kind of really into Assassin's Apprentice, so we'll see. But I am gonna get my Google Calendar in order, aka put some reminders to actually film B-roll for this one and hopefully not delete the footage like I did if you watched episode 1. But with that, have a great night wherever you are, whatever you're doing, what if morning, you know what I'm trying to say. I will update when I have an update. Okay, bye. Hello, my angels. Good Lord. Okay. It's been an inordinate amount of time. It is now June 29th. So, this challenge got a little bit away from me, only in the sense that like I was very busy with work and also started buddy reading the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb with Allie, and it's pretty much sucked up my entire life. So the only book that I have read so far for this Book of the Month Backlist Challenge is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. And I read this weeks ago, it feels like now, because I haven't updated in so long. That's Showbiz a Baby. But this one, if I remember correctly, I gave 4 stars, another thriller. No one's surprised here. So this one follows a character named Chloe Davis, and when she was a teenager, 6 teenage girls in her town were murdered. And although I found this to be wildly predictable, it was, again, another really fun thriller. I'm sorry, I just like hate this angle and I don't know what to do about it. Let me see if I can readjust. Okay, this is a little bit better. My camera may or may not fall because it is very precariously perched on that copy of Assassin's Quest that I literally just had in my hand. But anywho, so Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham follows our main character, Chloe, who after like many years, 15 or 16 years, is returning to her hometown where 6 girls were murdered and her father was convicted and is currently in jail for those murders. And she is a psychologist, I believe, that is writing her own prescriptions and abusing benzodiazepines to deal with, I'm assuming, an insane amount of PTSD and trauma from having to watch her father go through this. And in my opinion, it was very predictable. It reminded me of Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose, which I read earlier this year. I think I read it in May when it came out, and I thought it was really good. This reminded me of it. It was a really short read, really fast, really quick. I think a nice theme of these Book of the Month thrillers is that for the most part they do tend to be pretty engaging and really quick to read. So I'm not like super miserable that the majority of my unread books are thrillers. Like, I don't dislike a thriller, and I thought this one was like really good for summertime. Like the cover, you know, they talk about catching fireflies in the summer and growing up in Baton Rouge, and having lived in Panhandle area, Florida, like I could relate to a lot of the descriptions of the swampy climate and like those sticky summer nights where you can either get into a lot of trouble like in this book, or you can have a lot of fun. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars, and I am actually very interested in reading more by Stacey Willingham. I know she's got at least 1 or 2 more out there. But yeah, so now the problem is I have 4 books left and I have 2 days in which to read them. That's gonna be a problem. I don't think I can do it, but as per usual, I'm gonna give it my best shot. So I have quite a bit of catching up to do in Assassin's Quest, which is what I'm working on right now. Allie is like 100 pages ahead of me at any given moment of the day, so I'm gonna do some reading. I have quite a bit of cleaning up around here to do. I'll probably bring you guys with me up to the library, get some B-roll, tidying up in there. It's a hot mess. I have to organize my TBR cart. I have to organize my library books. There's some that are due this week, some that I'm just like, I know I'm just not gonna get a chance to read. I think I have like 10 checked out, so I went a little crazy there. Yeah, I think after having such an insane reading month in May, June just kind of like, I was just tired and I was really busy with work, which is not a bad thing. So I think what my plan is, after I get through some more Assassin's Quest and get some choring done, I just have to pick up a grocery order in like another hour. I think I'm gonna start the X-Hex, even though it is, oh my God, look at how big this font is. Yes, and there's cat artwork on the chapters. Okay, yeah. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one next. And you know, at first I was like annoyed that I got such an October like spooky season book, but it's giving me Summerween vibes, even though it's really nice out today in Denver. But I think I'm going to start this next because I think I can get it done definitely before the weekend is over. So technically I have until midnight tomorrow night to finish 4 books. So I have this one. I have The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. I have Girl A, which I think is another maybe courtroom thriller. It's a thriller of some sort. Bridget something, Abigail something. I don't remember the author's name. And then I also have whatever that rom-com book is, like How to Have to Marry Keanu Reeves in 30 Days or something. I don't know. But I think I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna start with this one because this is the next most interesting one after A Flicker in the Dark. So hopefully we're gonna cram some books in this weekend. Again, no promises that I'm gonna get all 4 of these done by tomorrow, especially since I have Assassin's Quest taking up my attention, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So I will check in a little bit. dogs. Updates on updates on updates on updates. Okay, so to start off with, it is July 1st and I finished the last book that I intended to finish today. So for the second month in a row, did I make it exactly within the parameters again in the month? No, but we're doing our best, and I knocked off I knocked off a total of 3 books this month. So spoiler. Okay, so we've already talked about A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham, right? Right. Since this is the end of the road, I'd like to be a little bit closer. Okay, that's better. Since we're here at the end of the road, let's just start at the beginning. Okay, so the first one that I finished is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham, and I've already talked about what this was about, but I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and I did get to this one earlier in the month, so I actually don't even really at this point even remember much about what it was about, but I do know that I liked it. I'm thinking about keeping this one because I actually do like the cover, so I might keep this one, and I did enjoy it. Her covers are actually pretty good, so I could see myself picking up more of her books, maybe on Pango, and having those have a little section on the shelves. Okay, next, The XX by Erin Sterling. So this was part of my little weekend cramming session. I did end up finishing it last night. Yes. I thought I was gonna have so many more updates yesterday, Sunday, June 30th, last day of the month, than I ended up having. I had a really great day, but like, I don't know. I don't know what it is lately. I just don't want to like bring my camera around the house and like do B-roll. So I apologize. I will try to do better, but I did end up finishing this yesterday, and this is going to be a 3-star for me. So this follows our main character, Vivian, who is dumped by her summer fling, Reese, and she curses him when she's like 20 years old, and then 9 years later he comes back to Glens Grove, which is the town that she lives in, and it's basically like a Halloween town 24/7, which I do think is very cute, because his family, the Penhallows, basically own the town. So he comes back, to the town, and they basically pick up where they left off while she's trying to help break the curse on him that she had put on him, because now it's bleeding into the ley lines of the town, since his family is the one that quote unquote owns the town. So to start off with, this was, and I knew this was going to happen, not the best time of year to read like a very Halloween, like very cute Halloween town vibes type of book. I definitely can see this, if I had read it in the fall, being more than 3 stars, which is what I gave it. I also didn't find the chemistry between our 2 main characters to be anything to write home about, and the time just like, it just like felt like I know they had dated before, but they went from nothing to everything, and it just didn't feel right, because I don't think the chemistry was there, and I don't think we got enough, like when they would talk about their time together when they were younger, when she initially dated him and cursed him. I feel like the author should have given us more. Like, I would have done better if there had been flashbacks and like little snippets of moments that they had together to give us that chemistry, to give us what the details that we needed to feel that chemistry, right? Because this is not a very long book. It's like 300, it's less than 300 pages. Also, the font is ginormous. Okay, so word count wise, story wise, this is a pretty short book. It's a quick read, and I think the author focused too much on like the cutesy, kitschy, witchy Halloween town vibes more than she focused on the romance, and then the romance fell super flat for me. So 3 stars, although I do find this cover to be very cute. I'm never gonna read I think there's like another 2 in this series, and I don't know. I'm assuming that they probably follow like an Abby Jimenez style, where they're loosely related to characters in like the other books, but they're not an actual trilogy per se. So I don't think that I am going to keep the XX, so that might go bye-bye. Okay, so the next book that I started yesterday and got no footage of, again, so sorry, so sad for me and for you, is Girl A, and this is by Abigail Dean. The dust jacket literally says the second sentence is she doesn't want to think about growing up in her parents' house of horror. And I go into books blind, so my eyes kind of went to House of Horrors, and I was like, sick, this sounds great, let's do it. And when I tell you I read 217 pages and probably only had about 100 pages left yesterday, and I was like, DNF, don't care, have never cared, couldn't care less. I don't know what it was. No, I do know what it was. The writing style was horrible for me personally. It felt jumpy, it felt stunted. There would be like 4 different timeline changes in the same chapter, and my Sunday Funday brain was just like, I can't keep up with this. And it was boring, and it gave like mild cult vibes, but like the author spent so much time describing things that I didn't care about. I felt that there was like no House of Horrors in this whatsoever. So yeah, I did make it 217 pages into this. Oh, okay. So anyway, it's about a girl who grew up in this horrific, very like religious cult vibes type of upbringing. The worst thing that I remember reading about that actually happened to these kids was them being like chained up and not being fed. And that was in 217 pages, and that's all I can recall of it being a House of Horrors. Listen, I'm not saying this had to be like gruesome, whatever, but for being described as what it's described as, for readers of Rim and Sharp Objects, no. I don't think anything in this description is correct. Propulsive tale, a gripping psychological family story, no. Yeah, I DNF'd this. I wasted a lot of time, but I gave it a try, so that's that. This is obviously not staying on my shelves. So I did read this, so I finished this, started and finished. So this is The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. And this is book 2 of the Wedding Date series, which I think there's like 5 different books in it, and they all follow Black female characters as the main romance female love interest and the subsequent males. And it's again like an Abby Jimenez style where the characters all are kind of related to each other. So anyway, I read The Wedding Date and I actually have it on my shelf, and I remember really liking it. This one, not so much. I thought Carlos was the worst. And a big theme of this is our main character. So the premise is our main character, I already forgot her name as per usual, Nick and Carlos. So Nick is dating this guy, Fletcher, I think. I don't know, some dumb name like that. And he proposes to her on the Jumbotron at a Dodgers game after they've only been dating for like 5 months, and it's not that serious to her, and obviously she says no. So then Carlos and his sister are like in the stadium a few rows back, and they kind of like whisk her away and rescue her, and then she starts dating Carlos. A big premise is our main character, Nick, has an issue with men telling her what to do. She likes to be independent because of this like crappy relationship she had with another doctor. BT dubs, Carlos is a doctor, so like that's a theme of her trying to overcome that. And within all that, Carlos like makes jokes and has inner monologue that he thinks are funny in regards to her feelings about, you know, like F the patriarchy, but he goes about it in the wrong way, and like she thinks it's like, oh my god, he's so funny. I didn't think it was that funny. So, and then they literally went from 0 to 100 real quick. He literally, spoiler alert, spoiler, I'm talking about the I love you reveal, so this is a spoiler. He literally wakes up one morning and says, I'm in love with you, I love you, after they literally have been saying over and over again that they're just hooking up, they're just casual, whatever. I don't know. I could have lived without this. I gave it 3 stars, which I feel like 2.75 is a more accurate representation of my T's and P's, thoughts and prayers on this. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep this. And in fact, seeing as I have book 1, The Wedding Date, like what's the point? I'm never gonna reread hold. Oh my god, my mouth is so dry because I'm just talking. I think I may also remove The Wedding Date from my shelves, is what I was saying, because I just didn't care for these. I didn't care for this that much, so I'm not going to continue reading. I'm not going to read the other 3 books remaining in the series. Why take up space on the shelf and or deny someone else the joy of perhaps getting these books, whether I donate or put on Pango or whatever. Free up space on my shelves, pass these on, and hopefully someone else will enjoy them more than I did, which is fine, which is great. That's the joy of books and sharing our love of them. Yes, thank you. Okay. All right. So the last book that I got in the drawer was How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. This was a November 2021 pick. So this was 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And yeah, I can tell you with certainty that I made the right choice just by opening up to page 62 and reading. I had Keanu's movie discography, music history, play history. His film schedule was a little easier to find. My maniac Googling gave me a few ideas of places where there could be a potential spotting. Yeah, okay. So I made the right choice. So I feel like I may have mentioned at the beginning of the video when I got the selection, but this is probably the one book on any of my books on my shelf that I'm like, WTF was I thinking? When I picked this, do I love Keanu Reeves? Yes. Was I maybe in my John Wick era? I was starting my John Wick era. I'm always in a John Wick era. That should be made clear right now. Any of those things could be true. Keanu Reeves still top tier for me. This, I don't know why I picked. So this literally follows a girl who is so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. She finds out that he's getting married and she goes on a road trip to try to show up at his wedding and convince him that she's her soulmate. And perhaps at the time I thought it was cute and kitschy, but I went on Goodreads today because when I finished the proposal and this was my last book for this challenge, for this video, I was just feeling really dreading it. I just didn't want to read it at all. So I went on Goodreads and it literally has like only 5,000 reviews and the average rating I think is 2.9, which is not great. So, and then I read one of, the top reviews about DNFing it and why, and it was because of how stalkerish, and I literally opened to page 62 randomly and it sounded very stalkerish. So I made the brave and bold decision. I am not even gonna waste my time. I'm just not gonna do it. This is the first book out of this challenge, so I have read and or at least attempted to read, in the case of Girl A, 9 books total so far out of 65. This is my first that I just I can't even stand to open it. Everything about it is giving me it's making me feel uncomfortable. So this is gonna get donated again though. I hope it moves on to someone who will love and appreciate it. So to wrap this vid up, I finished 3 of the 5 books that were chosen for me by the spinning wheel of Book of the Month, Death. I read about 75% of Girl A and DNF'd, and How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. I am just going to pass. I just pass. This is my challenge. These are my rules. So yeah, and out of these, I think I am only going to keep A Flicker in the Dark, TBH. So yeah, the rest of these are gonna go in the donate, Pango, whatever pile. I feel really good about that, and I also feel confident I'll never think about these books ever again after that. So that's fine by me. That's the end of the video. I'm so happy that whoever is watching this, you're here, you're with me, we're hanging out, we're reading books. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. That wraps up my Book of the Month backlist challenge, episode number 2. It is July 1st when I'm wrapping this up, so please stay tuned because the July episode will be beginning will be getting filmed, books will be getting read, videos will be getting posted soon. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I love to talk about books that I read. I have a lot of animals that show up. I like to have a good time in that sense. And please like this video because it will help get my book ramblings out to more people. And that's what I'm here for, and hopefully that's what you're here for too. So with that, I'm out. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.